It's still nice out. Still nice out. How's everybody doing? It's like baseball season right now, isn't it, Nick? I mean, they're out there shagging grounders. It's no big deal. What? Who's that? Who? No, I'm not sure who that is. Is that the guy that tries to dress like me? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. I wasn't sure. Is it Steve? What's his name? All right, everybody. I sure appreciate y'all coming out again tomorrow. Start off with Syracuse, a team that's, they're a lot better than what their record indicates. They obviously graduated a lot, like we did as well, and had some kids from the portal that went other places. But after watching them against Miami, I think they're now starting to get into a little rhythm and groove. Kyra Wood missed a few ball games. She's back. Her first game back, she comes off the bench and has a double double. Can score the basketball. Does a great job of rebounding for them as well. So I'm, looking forward to what I think is going to be a great game tomorrow night. If you just go through their top five scorers, every single one of them is 6 foot or above. So they've got really good size. And we're going to have to really focus on rebounding, limiting them to one shot, and then making sure we try to attack and not turn the ball over against their zone, and they'll also play some man.
Jeff, you guys won six now. Seems like there's just a different energy. I mean, you had some close games, but just able to get the win. What do you think the team took from that loss to NC State that really just kind of powered them to be able to be motivated in games to be able to get wins in some tight ones?
Well, I think a lot of it's been the whole entire season. I mean, when you look back at who we played, I think our schedule is ranked in the top 15 right now, or 16 in strength of schedule. We had some kids that were coming in, some freshmen that were taking on some new roles, even some returners that were having to accept more responsibility. And I probably, first 10, 12 games, I probably scheduled a little overzealously. And, we had some games that we were right there, had a chance to win and should have won. And I think we learned more from those than we did our NC State game. I mean, we just got our butt kicked by NC State. What we did learn was if you don't shoot the ball, you still have to try to guard somebody. And I'll be honest, if we go 3 of 20 in the first quarter in any of these upcoming games, I'm probably not going to like the result of those either. So with the shooting performance we had against NC State, I don't know if we could have beat them no matter what, but it shouldn't have been a 30-point game if we show up and at least attempt to guard. So what we've learned is you can't let your offense dictate your defense. And I've been really pleased with that. We've also been able to not let one mistake turn into two, then all of a sudden it's 4, now it's 8, now it's a whole, 6 minutes of where even after 2 or 3 timeouts we can't recover. And I think we've done a much better job of that, of starting to understand, okay, now I got to get a good shot. We got to take care of the basketball. And we've been fortunate. I mean, even in our Tech game, we stretched the lead to 18 with 2:20 to go in the third quarter and allow them to go on a 10-2 run to cut it to 10 because we turned it over on 3 straight trips. And those are things we've got to be able to stop. We can't let an 18-point lead shrink to 10, and now all of a sudden you've given them confidence going into the fourth quarter. But I thought we did a nice job of keeping our composure when the fourth quarter started, and then did a nice job of closing things out.
Jeff, you've seen plenty of win streaks, plenty of ranked wins before, but for a team this young with so many freshmen on it, just how important is it for them to see that these things are possible? I know you probably preach like these games are possible, obviously, but for them to actually go in there, come out the other end with a ranked victory for the first time.
Well, yeah, for us, we're looking at the next game in front of us. As soon as that Tech game was over, excited for that night, proud of them. Thought we competed. We showed them some film on Tuesday of some of the things we did really well, and then some of the things we have to improve, and then it goes right to Syracuse. Um, we can't look past anyone, and this is a league. Golly, if you go back and just look at the net, I think we've got 10 teams in the top 50 of the net. It's real, and you've got to be prepared to play each night. And we're sitting here playing games right now that, this Syracuse game's the most important game on our schedule, and it's going to give us an opportunity to hopefully get to 6-1 in the league. But if we don't show up and if we're not prepared and take them as seriously as I know our staff is, it's very easily where we're going to be 5-2 in the league. Because I don't care where anybody's ranked. I mean, you go back and look at Pitt and the SMU game. There have been some unbelievable games in our league. And even the teams that might only have 1-2 wins right now in conference play are playing teams really, really close. And there's nobody that you can just walk on the court and say, hey, it's a win. That's the one thing about our league. And then you get into, I think we've got 6 teams, five or six ranked in the top 25 again. So it's real.
Jeff, I think the most anybody scored on you guys during this streak is Pitt with 76, and that was an overtime game. Where do you think you're different defensively, or where have you grown on that end of the floor to be better there?
Well, we're not giving up as many points in transition off of our turnovers. Now, we're still turning the ball over at times. We're just not letting them score off of them. We've got to still get better at field goal percentage defense, which it's terrible. I think we're last in the league. So if you're not first, you might as well be last. And we've taken that to pride. So hopefully we can get that fixed, because you can't expect yourself to shoot 50% from the field every single night. So that's one of the areas, but we all have done a great job of forcing turnovers and then turning those into points. And when we do turn it over, even against Tech, we did a nice job of getting back, or it's what a dead ball turnover, to where at least we can set our defense up. So I think that's the area that we've improved in the most. The one area that I'm waiting for us to improve is our three-point shooting, because we really do shoot the ball well in practice. All of our shooting drills we've had, I've increased our scoring that we're trying to get as a goal because we shoot it well. It just has not translated yet into a game, except for that Morehead State game. So now we should be shooting the ball 35, 36% from the three. And I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing that start coming around.
I guess just speaking of shooting, Nyla in conference games is tied in the conference for the highest field goal percentage. I guess just where do you see her growth? Is that just mechanics? Is it just shot selection? How has she just been able to be so successful shooting-wise?
Well, I just think it's her confidence. She's put the time in the gym, and the more time you put in the gym, the more confident you get in your skill, the better you perform. And that's one of the things I try to explain to all of them. It's not a secret. It's like studying for an exam. If you don't study, you probably will fail. And I said, if you don't practice, you're going to miss shots, which is failing. So you've got to put the work in and the time in, and it doesn't guarantee you success, but it's going to give you a much better shot at it. And Nyla really put a lot of work in this offseason, this summer, and you can just see when she shoots it, she believes it's going in each time because of the work she put in this summer and fall.
Going back to Cuse, you mentioned kind of how similar they are this year, a little bit of a younger team. Obviously, with them last year losing a program centerpiece in Fair, just how different early on, or how they looked in tape, and how they've kind of adjusted to switching off some roles when you lose a player of that caliber.
Well, that's we all deal with that as it goes through graduation, But Fair was one of the best guards that we've had come through our league. She was able to score at will. When shot clock is running down, you need a basket. The ball's in her hands, and she delivered more times than not. So when you take someone like that and they graduate, now you've got other players who are now going to have to step up into that role. And I think George has done a really nice job of that, of taking that responsibility on. She's, shooting the ball more. She's expected to shoot the ball more. She's looking to score. Burrow's the same thing. So I think they've got players that have really done a nice job of elevating what they're doing to try to make up for what you lose in fair. Because it's all of our players, some that we've had here in the past. Dana Evans, Angel, Shoney, Durr, they're all like, how are you going to replace them? You're not. One person's not going to replace what fair did. So you hopefully get 2 or 3 of them that just improve 4 or 5 points each, and now all of a sudden you've recouped what you've lost in fair, because she was so dynamic and still is just a great basketball player.
Roberts is now giving you 3 ACC Rookies of the Week award honor for her. First Cardinal to do that since she has been in the ACC. Can you just talk about her progression? Is she maybe a little ahead of the progress that you maybe envisioned for her?
Well, she's doing exactly what we thought she could. I've just been very, very impressed with her patience, how the game has come along to her, how she's seeing the game. It's one of the things when you come in as a freshman, sometimes it's so much quicker, stronger, and for her, it's playing out slow. So when she gets it, it's not like all of a sudden there's 9 people running around. She sees what she's trying to do. She sees where the pass she's trying to make. She sees the driving lane that's in front of her. And that's a tribute also for the work. I mean, she's put the work in. And it's just exciting because I think she's continuing to get better and better. She started off with just shooting a lot of threes. And now her pull-up jump shot, she's doing a really nice job of getting into the paint. I'm challenging her to get to the free throw line more. That's one area of her game that I think she could really, really improve in, because she does score the ball well. If she get a little bit more aggressive, I think she could get to the line 5 or 6 times a game. But she's been really, really good.
I remember earlier in the year you wanted her to show a little bit more emotion on the court to enjoy it more. Are you seeing that out of her, not just in games but in practice, her just kind of being herself and enjoying it?
Yeah, I think herself is being real quiet. I'm trying to get her to bring more personality out, so people can see. It's like I tell her, I said, we have great crowds here, and you'll make a great play, and then you'll look like you missed it. Let the crowd know you're excited, because our crowd will get behind you. They want to see that as well. And, I think she's starting to have more fun with it, of being, okay, it's okay to show emotion and show excitement. And then I think she's seeing how everybody else feeds off of that as well. She's a great kid. She's witty, pays attention to what's going on. She really watches what's happening, and I enjoy being around her. She's really an enjoyable person to talk to, and she's been just great to be around. They're all different. I mean, there's not just one that she probes as well as anybody that we've had here, of being able to dribble in front of somebody, get them on their butt, and can really make that little pull-up shot. Shoney, when she had so much flair to her game, I mean, golly, everybody loved watching that kid play because you never knew what was coming next. Where Taj, as I've told her, it's like she's that kid that when the game's over and everybody is leaving the arena, they're like, so, hey, who was the leading scorer? I'm like, oh, it was Roberts. They're like, really? Because the way she does it, it's kind of like you look up after 3 quarters and you're like, man, she has 12 already? She's got 14? It's not like a highlight film where, with Durr and Dana and Shoney, they'd make plays that you're like, wow, oh my God, how'd they make that? Taj just does her thing, and she's becoming much more efficient. which is something I think is really important for her, and I think she can continue to shoot a higher percentage, and she will, but she makes an impact on both ends of the floor. I appreciate you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Turn this